Hurricane Irma boats tossed. Here we are at this marina.
Hi, my name's Colin. I used to be a chief engineer on Superyachts, but gave it all up to buy a hurricane-damaged Lagoon 450. My friends and I are fixing it up as we go, and are determined to circumnavigate the entire planet. So subscribe if you want some inspiration to live life to the fullest. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did. So what are you waiting for?
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Parlay Revival. I just want to take a moment right now to clarify a couple of things. We're very active on Instagram and Facebook, and that is real time. We do stories and just show our everyday lives and everything like that. The YouTube is a couple of months behind real time, and I'm working really hard to try catch up to real time. At least I want to get within a month of real time, so I'm using this time at the moment to really catch up on all the episodes. But an event took place 3 months ago. I announced it on Instagram and Facebook, but the YouTube following seems to be a little bit confused about what happened, and I can understand. Maria and I, we broke up. We were really trying, and nothing we were doing seemed to work. You know, living on a boat in such a tight space with we normally have 6 to 8 crew the whole time, so it's a very difficult environment to be in a relationship. You're either going to be rock solid to make it work, or it's going to fall apart. And unfortunately, not through lack of trying, Maria and I had to break up. I don't have a single bad word to say about Maria. She's an absolute saint. Her smile and her laugh could just light up a room. She's just one of those people that's completely selfless. Everything she ever did was for other people. Before joining Parlay, she spent the last 4 years of her life dedicated to volunteering, and that's how we met. Was through she was the director of the hurricane relief program called All Hands in the BVI, and then she decided to quit that, and she came sailing, and we for 1 whole year we were absolutely fantastic. You know, it was a pretty tough time when we broke up, because not only did I lose my girlfriend, but she was also the videographer. She pretty much did all of the provisioning for the boat. She did the majority of the cooking for the boat. She did the majority of the cleaning. She did all of the accounting, or any of the money coming in and out. She took care of all of that. She did so much on board, and she was also just an amazing person to have around. So I took a little bit of time to just be with myself and just reflect on a few things, and I'm in a really good space now, so I know that we made the right decision at that time. I'm normally a pretty private person, and I only share this kind of stuff with pretty close people, so that's where Maria's gone. I apologize to all of the people that enjoyed her as much as we did, but life goes on. So after we broke up, I took a little bit of time away from the editing. A lot of you were wondering where we went. I just took some time off. I focused a lot on working on the boat in Guatemala, which is the episodes you're about to see coming up soon. When I started editing again, I skipped ahead to where Maria wasn't such a big part of the videos anymore. Just out of respect for her, that was one of the things that she said when she left, was that she didn't want to see herself in these upcoming episodes. But when I skipped ahead on the footage, one of the things I missed, which I'm really sad about, is us getting McFly. So a lot of people are asking, who is this new dog? The new dog is McFly. If you've been following from the start, you'll remember that we got Marty in St. Martin. He was abandoned in a cave. He was all sorts of messed up. We brought the little guy back to life. He was eating his own poo to survive. He was in a really bad state. So he came good, and he's been an amazing dog. But the one thing I always wanted for him was a friend. When we all step off the boat together, it was really sad to leave Marty there on his own. So McFly was a street dog on an island called Bastimentos in Bocas del Toro in Panama, and someone rescued him, and then they went back to the States and gave him to a lady called Janine. And Janine already had 5 dogs, but she said, yeah, I'll look after McFly. And then the person who adopted McFly started ignoring Janine's messages and calls to come pick him up, and he basically abandoned McFly. So she put a message on the Facebook group that we were a part of, asking if anyone would rescue him. So we went down to the beach and we let McFly meet Marty, and they hated each other. McFly really liked Marty, but Marty hated McFly, and you can understand it was Marty's boat, it was Marty's territory, and he just didn't want to have a bar of McFly. But sure enough, about 3 weeks later, something clicked and they just became best friends, and it's been the most amazing thing watching those two hang out. They like cuddle together and they eat together and they run down, they chase each other down the beach. I'm so happy that Marty now has McFly. One other thing that I'll address now that we get asked a lot is where do they go to the toilet. So I've got this big green AstroTurf, like fake grass. Marty just automatically started using that, which was amazing. McFly still doesn't really know how to use it, so McFly kind of poos around the boat. Every now and then he'll lay one on the grass, but McFly has been really hard to train. Sometimes people come on board and before I can tell them, they think the grass is like a foot mat and they'll start wiping their bare feet on the grass. It's not a foot mat. We've been working in Guatemala and I was running a little bit low on money, so at the perfect time, my friend is the I'm on a super yacht right now, by the way. At the perfect time, a friend of mine who's the captain of this boat, it's a 160-foot Trinity, he messaged me and he said, can you come do a quick couple of months relief in chief engineering gig? So I said this couldn't have come at a better time, so I'm here. I'm working every day on the super yacht, and every single night I'm down in the control room editing, and I'm using this time to really try catch up, but I've basically got no life at the moment. But I'm really happy because I do enjoy the editing, and I've done the last 8 episodes all on my own, and we're really starting to get back up to that real-time goal that I'm trying to get to. So that's what's happening right here. I've also got permission to do a full episode on working on a super yacht as well, so that's coming up, so keep an eye out for that. That's going to be quite fun. I'll just take a quick second to talk about Patreon for anyone who doesn't know about it. That is a way for our followers to contribute towards our project and help support us. It's kind of like a Netflix subscription. If you can appreciate the amount of work that goes into this and the amount of equipment that we have to buy, like I need to buy a new GoPro, and I just bought a new microphone that was $400. Hard drives, are always having to buy hard drives, so a lot of these expenses are actually being covered now by you guys. We've got 54 amazing Patreons at the moment, and you know who you are. Thank you so much for supporting us. If any more of you want to do so, we've got some nice incentives, like every 6 months we're going to take 3 people sailing for a whole week. I'll pay for everything except for flights and booze, and they get early releases of episodes and special episodes for them and stuff, so check it out in the link if that's something you could be interested in. But to our existing Patreons, thank you so much for supporting us. It honestly means the world to us. You know, it's you guys that keep me going. It's you guys that keep me motivated to be able to be in a position where you are inspiring people, and some of the messages and emails that we get letting us know that we've inspired people to go buy a boat or inspired people to fix their boat, and it's just the most rewarding thing, and that's what keeps me going. And I just want to say thank you so much for your support. So I hope that clarifies a few things, guys. Thanks for listening. Let's get on with the episode now. This is where Parlay finally gets hauled out. So today's the day, finally. It's been a long time coming. We're hauling the boat out. There's a boat just getting hauled out now, and then we're next. Been walking around the boat trying to think of things that we need to prepare, but there's nothing really we need to do. We can just haul out. I'm going to leave all the power on. I'm going to leave the fridges running, batteries connected. Yeah, it's different. On a super yacht, there's a whole procedure that we'd go through, because you go what's called dead ships, and then you disconnect pretty much everything, or at least shut everything down. But on a small boat like this, I think we just leave everything as it is. The solar's going to just keep charging the batteries. So yeah, we're going to come out in an hour or so, and yeah, we'll try to get some footage.
So we've been tied and we're moving in.
Once the boat is in the correct position, you can shut down the engines and all the crew can disembark the boat. Nanawana Marina in Rio Dulce, Guatemala use a hydraulic trailer to haul boats out.
It's super hot. Doggo's going in for a swim.
The yard workers then tap the hull to find where the bulkheads are, which are the strongest points to lift the boat. Lifting away from a bulkhead can have catastrophic results. Insurance on Parler is upwards of $6,000 per year, so I haven't insured her thus far. This meant there were some very anxious moments leading up to the lift, as I had never seen it done like this before, and I put all of my faith in the hands of the shipyard. I then learnt that they were going to lift Parlay at 4 points only, which was very disconcerting. To do this, they used sandbags carefully placed below the bulkheads and slowly started to lift her out of the water. The hydraulics are run by a small gas-powered motor, and once the weight of the boat was taken up by the trailer, it was time to slowly drag Parlay up the ramp. Those of you following from the beginning will know that we did 4 months of work on Parlay when we first bought her in the water to get her seaworthy enough to sail around the Caribbean and eventually put her in a shipyard somewhere. Naniki Marina in the BVI where I bought the boat wanted $220 per day to haul Parlay out. Nanawana Marina charges $340 per month.
This is a really special moment for Parlay. Everything seems to have gone smoothly. They've only got 4 points under the bridge of the boat where they're lifted. They put these sandbags there and then they lift the whole thing on this trailer. But it's only got 4 points of contact. So you've got to make sure those are right on the bulkheads or else it'll just punch through the hull.
Once Parlay was in her new home, the workers then find bulkheads and frames where they can block the boat up. As the concrete yard was not exactly level, I went on the boat and walked around to see if she was sitting level or not. When you get to know your boat so well, even the smallest list to one side is very noticeable. I also rolled a tennis ball on the aft deck to make sure she was level, because I didn't want rainwater to collect in the corners. The yard then proceeded to jack stand the rest of the boat under the frames and bulkheads. The trailer was then withdrawn as Parlay was left to rest in her new home. This is where the real revival of Parlay can begin, and we will not splash her again until every single inch of her hull is back to, or even better than, her original condition. The boys knew that this meant weeks and weeks of grinding and glassing, but there was an excitement in the air because we were finally able to give this hurricane damaged boat a new life.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you want to help me out, hit like and leave a comment. If you want to see more, then subscribe. We've got a whole bunch of repair videos coming up, so some exciting episodes coming your way, and we'll see you next episode. Thanks guys.
2 more days to go and everything is gonna be fine. I'm super happy with the progress. It's been a week and a half and the hull looks beautiful.